Hello everyone, my name is JeanGannon. I'm one of your parish nurses and I currently work as a registered nurse here in one local Syracuse hospital in the emergency department. I've been a registered nurse for 25 years here in Central New York, and I'm here today to give you a little bit of information in my experience how to work with and what to expect with the COVID-19 vaccine. I deal with patients every single day that are both dealing with the effects of the disease as well as the fears surrounding the disease. And so I think that to be educated about the vaccine will help you to make a reasonable and proper decision as to how to go about receiving the vaccine. I think it's very important for everyone to receive the vaccine. I've already received mine as well as my family, except for my daughter Kelly, who's not quite old enough yet. One of the best resources that I have found is the cdc.gov website. It's very readable, very easy to access, and anybody who can access the internet should be able to get to that. Most of the information that I'm providing to you today comes from that website. When you actually receive your COVID vaccine, whether it's the Pfizer, Moderna, or the Johnson & Johnson, and then hopefully soon we'll have a fourth option available. Side effects of the vaccine itself are just the same as any other vaccine that you're going to be receiving. Same as your tetanus, same as your flu. Usually the symptoms are more mild for the first shot. You'll have some soreness or stiffness in the arm and in the muscle. To prepare for that, you can just have some ice packs. Put it on the injection site. Keep that arm moving. That will help to absorb that medication into your system and help to make it feel better. More so on the second shot, we'll have increased symptoms after about a day or so, lasting generally about 24 hours. This vaccine is causing you to think that you've got something, and it's trying to build up your natural immunities towards that so that you don't get COVID-19 as the illness. And there's a huge variety. Generalized body aches and stiffness, nausea, full-blown dose of the blahs. Most people tell me they're fairly tired. Some people have had fevers as high as 102 and 103 strictly as a reaction to the medication. If you start to develop those symptoms, Tylenol or Motrin, fluid, and rest. Many times people will tell you to prepare to just spend a day or two on the down low. Take things nice and easy. Expect to be down and out. Don't plan on running a marathon the day after. I received my first vaccine in December. Didn't have a whole lot of side effects. Thanks be to God, I have not gotten ill with this. Other people down and out for a couple of days. But it's like a light switch goes off and you're suddenly back to normal. Why do I think several healthcare providers have opted not to take the vaccine? I don't really know the reason. Many people, even healthcare providers, are saying every time I get the flu shot, I get the flu. I don't want to take the COVID vaccine because I don't want to get COVID. But that's not how this vaccine works. This is an mRNA vaccine. You don't get any of the virus itself. You're getting a genetic code that your body's going to recognize and start to build up immunity against. Perhaps some people have had negative things after vaccines. A lot of people say these vaccines were just made too fast. They haven't been tested. They haven't been proven. We don't know for sure their safety and efficacy. These vaccines were pushed fairly quickly, but they did go through all of the necessary and required testing. There's still ongoing testing, trying to prove and maintain safety and efficacy. And all three of the current vaccines are demonstrating near 100% protection against severe illness. You can still get the virus, but your body's going to have the ability to fight that and help you to be healthier and to survive through it. I myself, in my time at work, have seen a number of people die from COVID, and it's a very difficult death. Many people have had the disease and survived, but it's still a very, very miserable illness. One of the most difficult things is because we have to maintain such isolation, we haven't been allowed to have family members and friends of people who are sick. Even as a healthcare provider, that's very difficult because we're supposed to be there for people. We're supposed to encourage family to be with our friends and families and loved ones. And when we can't, that's real rough. So I strongly encourage that you do get it because we need to fight this disease. How long does it take for protection to kick in after receiving the vaccine? According to the CDC, with all of the ongoing studies that are happening, full protection is believed to be about 14 days after your final injection. If you're receiving a 2-dose vaccine, 14 days after your second. If you're receiving the Johnson & Johnson with the single injection, 14 days following that. There is near 100% efficacy against severe disease. Basically what that means is that once you get that vaccine and have your full protection, you shouldn't die from it. And that's what this is all about. A lot of ongoing studies right now that also having the vaccine decreases your risk of giving it to other people, although that is still being studied. We don't have an extensive number of long-term studies, but everything that we have seen so far is suggested that it has good efficacy, works well, and prevents the spread. Say you've already had COVID and recovered. Do you still need to get the vaccine? Absolutely. When you've had the disease and you've recovered, your body is going to form some aspect of immunity, just like it does to any other virus that you've been exposed to. Right now, you're going to have what they expect to be about a 90-day confirmed immunity against a reinfection. There are a few scattered cases that have shown reinfection within 90 days, but worldwide, that's just a few. So what we're showing is a prolonged level of protection for about 90 days. The expectation on the vaccine is said it could be up to 6 months or longer. And again, because this is so new, it's still being studied, we don't have the long-term answers yet. So the CDC is currently recommending receiving your vaccine even though you've already tested positive. Who knows, if you've already had the disease and you have the vaccine, your body's going to continue to build it up. You may actually have more protection against the illness. They do say that you should not be receiving the vaccine at a time when you are obviously having symptoms, including fever, the headache, body aches, chills, nausea, vomiting, loss of sensation of taste and smell, and any of the other symptoms that go along with it. So clearly, if you're ill, you should not be receiving the vaccine. And they'll check you when you go in to get your vaccine to make sure that you're not currently symptomatic, because we don't want to put the burden on your body to work up an immunity towards this illness if you're already fighting something else. So my recommendations to you are to please, unless you have some specific reason why you can't get this vaccine, we need to be together as a community, as a family. Our kids need to be back to school. Protect yourself, wear your mask, keep distant, stay away from folks if you're sick, wash your hands, and get your vaccine. Thank you.